Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I wanted to share with you guys three major issues you must deal with, you must address before entering into marriage. We all desire to have a great marriage, but are we preparing for it? Too many people enter into marriage unprepared with toxic, unresolved issues and behaviors and just simply not ready. So let me share with you guys these three major issues that you must overcome and deal with. But before I do so, hi, my name is Lois Raymond, and on this channel, I'm all about helping and serving you navigate and blossom through life as a godly woman, wife, and mother. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I encourage you to do so that whenever I post a video, you will always be notified of it. Number one, defeat the spirit of lust. This is a spiritual giant that if it is active in your life, honey, don't just slay this giant, but make sure you cut off its head. The spirit of lust is the root cause that needs to be addressed, but the symptoms or the signs that this spirit is prevalent in your life is if you are practicing sexual immorality. What does sexual immorality looks like? And just to name a few: lusting after women, pornography, masturbating, fornication, adultery. Anything that deals with sexual immorality, it's an indicator that the spirit has a stronghold or a foothold in your life. God created sex to be sacred and a beautiful expression between husband and wife. But porn and masturbation creates a self-focused, self-centered, lust-driven version of God's intent. If you watch pornography, you are addicted to pornography, or you habitually and frequently watches pornography, what it does, it can create unrealistic expectations in your marriage. Pornography rewires your brain. And remember that these people that you see when you watch these films, these X-rated films, they are on a set. They are directors, they are producers, they are script writers, they are professional actors. And I was privileged to watch someone that got saved, that was in the porn industry, and now she got saved, and actually right now she is preaching the gospel. And when she gave her experience, she spoke about how she had to take drugs and get high so that when she's on set, she could escape the realities of what she's doing and that she can become numb and disconnected with what she is doing. So now what happens? You can have a distorted picture of what sex is supposed to be like. You may have this unrealistic fantasy, so you may want your spouse now to look like these actors. You may want them to always be ready and in the mood and always be up and willing to swing on chandeliers and do unrealistic things of what you see on these films. And the reality is that when you begin to live day-to-day life with someone, it's not going to be like that. You have to take into consideration and account that sometimes you're going to be tired. Sometimes, you may not always be ready and in the mood. There's no intimacy, there's no patience, there's no meeting of your spouse's needs. Porn is quick, exaggerated, and over the top. But also what it does, it breeds comparison. So because you have this imprint of what you desire or what you think sex is supposed to be like, now you can compare your spouse to those professional actors. You can compare your experiences to what you watched online. You can even go so far to compare sizes and body shape, not knowing that a lot of these actors, sometimes they do surgery to get their genitalia bigger. Most, they are above average, and and a lot of these actors, actually the lady, she was even saying Sometimes after these sessions, she would be in pain. It was so painful and not pleasurable because it was exaggerated and over the top. But also, let's talk about masturbation. Marriage requires dependence on one another, especially when it comes to intimacy. And when you begin to masturbate, it trains your mind to satisfy you. So you know exactly what to do to gratify and to satisfy yourself. You know the right pressure, the right rhythm, the right method. You begin to get accustomed to yourself and you know exactly what to do to satisfy yourself. And now, because you become self-sufficient, this can lead to frustration in the bedroom. And why it leads to frustration in the bedroom is because intimacy requires patience. It requires exploration and learning and relearning and adjusting and communication. It takes time and teamwork. So now you can become so complacent that after you get married, your husband, is still trying to figure you out, or you're still learning your wife. You become frustrated and you're like, okay, well, you know what? Once he's good, I'm good. And then after, you go and you satisfy yourself, or hide and satisfy yourself after. A lot of couples believe the deception that, you know what? After I get married, all these addictions and habits, it will go away because now I have my wife and I'm able to have sex with her. But remember, as I said, it is a spirit. And if you have not dealt with the spirit of lust, yes, in the first years or in the early stages of your relationship, you may not have that problem, but rest assured that the spirit is going to come back. And if you have not closed that door, and if you have not dealt with those habits and addiction, it will and can destroy your marriage. Number 2, don't ignore the red flags. I'm not saying that people have to be perfect, but there are a lot of times that we see warning signs. Red flags are warning signs that we see. And if we do not take time to deal and address the issues and the situations and the character flaws, whether it is in our lives or in the other person's lives, we are going to end up in problems later on in our relationship. I encourage you, don't marry someone's potential. No, marry their reality. Marry who they are right now. This is who you are marrying, the person that they are right now, and not who they can be or potentially can be in the future. These issues will not magically disappear after the wedding day. So, does your faith and value align? Do they have unresolved issues, or do they have traumatic experiences that they went through that they still are enslaved and they still live in the past and is tormented about? What about their attitude? How do they react to conflict and certain situations? Are they hasty and always quick to get angry? Are they abusive, whether it is verbally, physically, financially? Do they have a history of always cheating or always flirting? These are signs that you need to look out for. Also, their family history. You may notice that in a certain family, the mothers, they are the man in the relationship, and they love to control and they love to manipulate. These are things that you need to look out for. In the men, certain things that you may see. All the men in the family, they are womanizers, or they don't commit. They live with someone in a house, not being married, and you see that pattern in the entire generation. These are things that you need to pay attention to. Generational curses, even hereditary things that could be passed on, like diseases and sicknesses. Weigh the differences and really decide consciously, do I really want to live with this for the rest of my life? Also, there may be red flags that you are blinded of. But when the people around you, they see certain red flags, whether it is in your life or in the person that you like, pay attention to these things. Don't think that you're the person or your family members, you know they love you, you know they care about you, and they are warning you or showing you certain things that you need to be cautious about in this person. Please don't ignore the signs. Don't feel attacked or that no one loves you or they don't want you to be happy. It's for you to just pay attention to it, not just pay attention to it, but deal with it and come to a conscious decision. Can I tolerate this for the rest of my life? Can I live with this for the rest of my life? Get rid of the skeletons in your closet. Everyone have a past. And many of us, we may have had traumatic experiences that we have went through, whether it was sexual abuse, verbal abuse, issues from our childhood, rejection, things that we may have dealt with that may make us feel ashamed, embarrassed, secrets that we don't want to speak about. Maybe you committed an abortion or something that you are so ashamed about that you don't even want to share with anyone. If this is the person that you want to marry and you're serious about marrying this person, it is your duty to let them know. Your marriage should be built on truth and trust, and you should feel safe and trust this person well enough to share the secrets with them and share hidden things about your life with them. An important component of intimacy is vulnerability. And you don't want your spouse, years after into the marriage, now finding out certain things from your past and secrets and hidden things that you have been through. People from the past rearing their heads in your relationship, and now they feel trapped because why didn't you tell me this before I even committed to marry you and to spend the rest of my life with you? Or they may feel betrayed, that to know that you're withholding secrets from them, and now they can feel as though, what else are you hiding from me? So your spouse, your future spouse, they deserve to know the truth. And honey, the truth have a way of coming out, and secrets tend to get revealed after a period of time. These are the three major issues that you must deal with before entering into marriage. If you do not deal with these issues, I'm telling you, it's going to come back to bite you when you get married. And honey, that bite is going to be a hard bite and it's going to sting. So deal with the issues. I urge you and I encourage you, especially number one, pornography and masturbation. It destroys marriage. It destroys the intimacy in your marriage. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.